He knows what's wrong with every copy of the Inquirer since I took over. Read the cable.
Girls delightful in Cuba, stop. Could send you prose poems about scenery, but don't feel right spending your money. Stop. There is no war in Cuba. Signed, Wheeler. Any answer?
Yes, dear Wheeler, you provide the prose poems. I'll provide the war.
That's fine, Mr. Kane.
Yes, I rather like myself. Send it right away.
I came to see you about
Yes,
this
Mr.
campaign of
Thatcher.
yours. This Inquirer campaign against the Public Transit Company.
Mr. Thatcher, do you know anything we could use against them?
Still the college boy, aren't you?
Oh, no, Mr. Thatcher. I was expelled from college. A lot of colleges, you remember. I remember.
Charles, I think I should remind you of a fact that you seem to have forgotten.
Yes,
That
Mr.
you are
Thatcher.
yourself one of the largest individual
Mr. Thatcher.
stockholders in the Public Transit Company.
The trouble is you don't realize you're talking to two people. As Charles Foster Kane, who owns 82,364 shares of public transit preferred, you see, I do have a general idea of my holdings. I sympathize with you. Charles Foster Kane is a scoundrel. His paper should be run out of town. A committee should be formed to boycott him. You may, if you can form such a committee, put me down for a contribution of $1,000.
My time's
On the
too
other
short for a
hand,
lot of
I am the
wasted
publisher of the Inquirer. As such, it's my duty, and I'll let you in on a little secret. It's also my pleasure to see to it that decent, hard-working people in this community aren't robbed blind by a pack of money-mad pirates just because they haven't anybody to look after their interests. I'll let you in on another.
Good are they? They always break down.
They do not always break down.
Oh, of course they do. Horseless carriages. Automobiles. People aren't going to spend their lives lying on their backs in the road letting grease drip in their faces. No, I think your father better forget about him.
Papa would be so grateful if he could have your advice.
Don't know that I've done anything to be insulted for.
You know, I don't mind your being such a lofty person at all. I think it's ever so interesting. But Papa's a great man.
Is he? Well, let us hope so. I hope so, I'm sure.
How lovely your mother is.
I think she is.
She's the gracefulest woman. She dances like a girl of 16.
Most girls of 16 are pretty bad dancers. Anyhow, I wouldn't dance with one of them unless I had to. The snow's fine for sleighing. I'll be by for you in the cutter 10 minutes after 2.
Tomorrow?
Thank you, Isabel.
I can't possibly go.
Bravo! Bravissimo!
Papa.
Lucy?
ought to see Charles on skis. He's absolutely wonderful.
No.
Yes, darling, you are, and I'm pretty good too, aren't I?
Very.
Well, for a beginner.
Do you remember to keep your knees together and your apparatus in?
Yes, Freshy, I did.
Mr. Wilson here is compiling a catalog of Paul Revere silver.
How nice.
Mr. Wilson is also an authority on clocks.
Oh, really? That's Charles' hobby, too.
Yes, so your brother tells me. I understand you're going to fix the one in the church tower.
Well, I may try.
Well, that's quite an undertaking.
Well, show the kind of a wife I am, I hope he fails. I like Harper just the way it is, even to the clock that doesn't run.
Have you been at Harper long, Mr. Wilson?
Since Friday, a week ago.
Well, you lost today. I patched you up on Friday. By the way, how's the head?
Oh, very much improved, thanks to you, Doctor.
You were hurt on Thursday, remember? The day of the wedding.
Yes, that's right. Wednesday, I let Bang go.
In here, we're less likely to be heard.
I was thinking it was only your husband you wanted to kill.
Why don't you try to understand? George was supposed to take care of Arthur, but he lost his silly head and shot Broom. After that, I knew I couldn't trust him. He was mad. He had to be shot.
And what about me?
Oh, we could have gone off together.
Into the sunrise. You and me, or you and Grisby.
I love you.
One who follows his nature keeps his original nature in the end. But haven't you heard ever of something better to follow?
Bubble, bubble, boil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Pouring cow's blood that has eaten her 9 farrow.
Grease,
that's sweating from the murderer's gibbet, thrown to the flame.
Finger.
A birth strangled babe.
Ditch delivered by a drab. Make the cruel.
Thick and suave.
Like a hell broth. Boil and bubble.
For a charm of powerful trouble.
When shall we three meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain? When the hurly-burly's done. When the battle's lost and won. That will be at the set of sun.
There to meet with
I pray you, when you shall these unlucky deeds relate, speak of me as I am. Nothing extenuate nor set down aught in malice. Then must you speak of one that loved, not wisely, but too well. Of one not easily jealous, but being wrought, perplexed in the extreme. Of one whose hand, like the base Indian, threw a pearl away, richer than all his tribe. Set you down this.
At a time after the war in Spain, this border was closed, tight, a sort of miniature iron curtain. At least that was the theory. But in war or peace, old times are new to the people who actually live up here. This border has always been more of a theory than a fact. A theory of the French and Spanish governments, whose vigilant customs officers patrol it. No, the people who live here are neither French nor Spanish. They're Basques. And the rise and fall of other republics, other kingdoms, has never made them forget it, that they're Basques. And that Basques are what Basques are. Well, what is a Basque? All we know for sure is what a Basque is not. Besides not being French or Spanish, a Basque is not Mediterranean, Alpine, Magyar, Celtic, Germanic, Semitic, nor Scandinavian. He isn't even Aryan. Nobody knows who his ancestors were. According to him, Adam and Eve were pure Basque. And it's true that his position's something like the Red Indians in America. He's an aboriginal. He was in Europe before the other Europeans came along. To this day, he speaks his own weird language.
We're closed.
You've been cooking at this hour?
Just cleaning up.
Oh. Have you forgotten your old friend?
I told you we were closed.
I'm Hank Quinlan.
I didn't recognize you. You should lay out those candy bars.
It's either the candy or the hooch. Must say, I wish it was your chili I was getting fat on. Anyway, you're sure looking good.
You a mess, honey.
Yeah. That being old sure brings back memories.
The customers go for it. It's so old, it's new. We got the television, too.
We use these visual aids.
Lectures and sermons.
Yes, how your particular delusion is described in the writings which preface the law. Before the law, there stands a guard. A man comes from the country seeking admittance to the law, but the guard cannot admit him. The Can the man hope to enter at a later time?
I've heard it before. We've all heard it. The man is dying of old age, still waiting there. And just at the end, the guard tells him that the door was meant for him, only for him.
The guard tells him no one could enter this door. And now, I'm going to close it. Some commentators have pointed out that the man came to the door of his own free will.
And we're supposed to swallow all that? It's all true?
We needn't accept everything as true. Only as necessary.
God, what a miserable conclusion. It turns lying into a universal principle.
By attempting to defy the court.
By such an obviously mad gesture, you hope to plead insanity? You've laid some foundation for that claim by appearing to believe yourself the victim of some kind of conspiracy.
That's a symptom of lunacy, isn't it?
Delusions of persecution.
Delusions?
I would to a bedtime, Hal, and all well.
Why, thou owest God a debt.
'Tis not due yet. I would be loath to pay him before his day. What need I be so forward with him that calls not on me? Well, no matter. Honor pricks me on. Here was how if honor pricked me off when I come on her then. Can honor set to a leg? No. Or an arm? No. Or take away the grief of a wound? No. Honor hath no skill in surgery then. No. What is honor? Air. A trim reckoning. Who hath it? He that died a Wednesday. Doth he feel it? No. 'Tis insensible and yea to the dead. But will it not live with the living? No. Why? Detraction will not suffer it. Therefore I'll none of it. Honor is a mere scutcheon. And so ends my catechism.
I have heard it before. Long ago. But where?
Now, this has been standing here for centuries. The premier work of man, perhaps, in the whole Western world. And it's without a signature. Chartres. A celebration to God's glory and to the dignity of man. Well, all that's left, most artists seem to feel these days, is man. Naked. Poor, forked radish. There aren't any celebrations. Ours, the scientists keep telling us, is a universe which is disposable. You know, it might be just this one anonymous glory of all things. This rich stone forest, this epic chant, this gaiety, this grand choiring shout of affirmation, which we choose when all our cities are dust, to stand intact, to mark where we have been, to testify to what we had it in us to accomplish. Our works in stone, in paint, in